tell Buhari that Nigeria is dangerous, unsafe. French activists rise U.S. Secretary of State Blinken ahead of visit. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning to listen. Jolly disclosed this in an open letter to the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken on his visit to Nigeria. Now the news in detail. Eva Joly, an anti-corruption activist and co-founder Corruption Hunters Network, says Nigeria's corruption fighters are working and operating in an unsafe environment. Joly disclosed this in an open letter to the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken on his visit to Nigeria. Blinken is expected to visit Kenya, Nigeria and Senegal from November 15th to November 20th to underscore the depth and breadth of a country's relationship with African partners. Joly asked the U.S. Secretary of State to tell President Muhammadu Buhari during the meeting to ensure Nigerians' corruption fighters have a safe and open operating environment in which to carry out their vitally important work. Too many corruption fighters have already suffered from the absence of such an environment. From Maltese journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia to Rwandan anti-corruption lawyer Gustave McEnany, to Abdullahi Muazu, head of forensics for Nigeria Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. These are just a few of the many killed in the line of duty, she said. As you prepare to meet with Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, you should know that Nigeria is an especially dangerous place for corruption fighters. Mr. Muazu is only one of many EXÞ0S staff who lost their life fighting corruption in Nigeria. Indeed, Nuhu Ribadu, the EXÞ0S first chair, and Ibrahim Mago, the most recent past chair, both barely survived assassination attempts in Ribadu's case. In Nigeria, when the bullet missed the target, the corruption turned to what anti-corruption campaigners term lawfare, the abusive use of a law for political ends. In Ribadu's case, it was reassignment to a one-year training program at an institute where he was a frequent lecturer and which, among other things, meant he was no longer entitled to protection by the State Security Service. Ribadu then resigned from service and continued to speak out against corruption in Nigeria. The Ribadu experience apparently told the forces of corruption in Nigeria that just forcing a corruption fighter from office was not enough. The lawfare campaign against Mago is being waged at a whole new level. At a time when EFCC was reportedly investigating the current Attorney General for corruption, Mago was picked up by the police and detained for alleged corruption allegations that had already been investigated and dismissed 3 years previously. Suspended from office pending the outcome of a panel of inquiry setup, he was denied access to the evidence against him for several weeks and repeatedly refused permission to address the inquiry or to cross-examine witnesses. The inquiry's mandate and terms of reference were never disclosed, nor was the timeline to which it was expected to operate, exposing Mago to an open-ended intimidatory process. In the meantime, Mago, who had overseen the successful prosecution of numerous senior politicians and the seizure of millions of dollars worth of corruptly obtained assets, has been moved from the EFCC. His ultimate fate remains in question. A lawful campaign is also being waged against Olanrewaju Suraju, a prominent anti-corruption activist. He is accused by former Nigerian Attorney General Mohammed Adoke of forging documents implicating Adoke in an enormous corruption scheme that stands to cost Nigerians literally billions in lost revenue. The forgery allegations against Suraju were quickly dropped after he showed the documents were genuine. But while Suraju was released, a police unit which officially investigates only police misconduct has repeatedly demanded that he travel the 300 miles from his home in Lagos to the police headquarters in Abuja for further questioning. Despite Suraju obtaining a court order preventing the police from further harassing him. Suraju has now been charged under a cyber stalking law that West African ECOWAS Court of Justice has ruled incompatible with international human rights undertaking and which the Nigerian government itself has promised to amend. The indictment, widely circulated in the press but yet to be served on Suraju, accuses him of defaming Adoke. I know from personal experience the toll the threats of violence and the constant lawfare like attacks take on those committed to fighting corruption. For that reason, I have found the Corruption Hunters Network, a group dedicated to standing up when those fighting corruption themselves become a target. I write on behalf of a network and all whom the network is committed to protecting in Nigeria and elsewhere. The fight against corruption fighters is clearly escalating in Nigeria. This is despite President Buhari's personal commitment to putting an end to corruption. In your meeting with President Buhari, I urge you to press him to make good on your president's goal of ensuring Nigerians' corruption fighters have a safe and open operating environment in which to carry out their vitally important work. Well. Oh my goodness. Imagine. It is well, though. Well, it is not news in Nigeria that the hunter becomes the hunted. Once you have a very big man, in the powerhouse now, I mean in government, and someone elsewhere, his or her job is to make sure that things go right, that funds do not disappear and people remain accountable. Before you know what is going on, the person that is supposed to be the hunter in Nigeria, before you know, the person becomes hunted, though. The person will now start to they will just put the person in a very, very deep confusion. The person will now be trying to stagger. But how can you accuse me now? How can you accuse it? That is what you'll be hearing. It is laughable, but it is very tragic. It is very tragic that when you want people to be accountable, they turn against you. Like, you start asking yourself, but it's my duty. But it's my duty to do this. That is how it seems. So it is all those things said here. Sincerely, it is not new. And unfortunately, the executive, the legislative, the judiciary, they are all aware. And it is happening right under their nose. Imagine those that were killed. It had even gone to the point of killing people just to not to be accountable. It is well, though. It is well with Nigeria. I say again, it is well. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of the day.